If you record yourself talking enough, do you think that you would get comfortable with it? Like, get rid of the ums, ahs, likes, and all the stuff that screams amateur? I think so, but so I'm at the end of this experiment now. This is day 7, and I say really, I'm still taking the nature of calling these video logs more so like I think of it, logs that audio logs you might find in a video game or whatever that documents a part of the journey or whatever. And it's really, but the subject is my life. So I started this because of accountability, but also I just really like making videos and talking about things, and I think there's a part of me, this is maybe a quiet part said out loud, is I felt like an imposter if in my videos I wasn't like beefing up the production like you see all across the internet now. But I didn't know what I was going to talk about today, but on day 7, I see that this has kind of changed. I'm kind of talking to the camera, like actively talking to people watching, whereas I think in the first one I was talking to myself. And I realize it can be both. It can be both. I mean, I upload it here for accountability, but also I do enjoy, talking to anybody in the comments and actually, just sharing these thoughts, ideas, experiments, and really just documenting my journey. So, I'm just wondering, like, I noticed for how much I record myself, just how unsure I've been with the ums, ahs, likes, and everything. And I think it's not something I'm going to harp on too much with myself because it's just a hobby. I'm not doing it for a job. And, I said, like, okay, so I had some experience in college doing a little bit of a newscast, and I watched back a few of those videos before, and I could see just how nervous I was. You can hear in my voice. But I think back to other places where I thought that, maybe where I thought it might needed to talk, like have yourself recorded. Like I remember, so I worked at a few radio stations, and I was what am I trying to say? I was going to I had to give a audition tape to me commentating on basketball. I had to find a basketball video on YouTube and just commentate on it to see if I could do commentary for high school basketball on the radio. And I tried again and again and again, and it's just not happy with it, that I just tried to rush and get it over with. And my brother-in-law was my boss, and I was too afraid to ask how it went, and he just never said anything about it. So that silence on both ends spoke volumes. And I never really did it. And then I've tried a few podcasts over the years. I had a really, really crappy podcast on Podbean several years ago. And then I also, at one point, did about like 90 days in a row where it was like a podcast, but it was a video podcast. And I would ended up just reading from the Bible by the end of it and talking about it just because I didn't know what else to do. But I did that, and the only requirement I had for myself was 2 requirements: is I had to be at least a half an hour, and I had to keep talking. And so I think that had helped me a little bit. I started to feel more comfortable, but I always felt like I was just messing it up. And I didn't know what I was going to talk about tonight. I mean, right now it is 11:45 p.m. on January 24th of 26. So this is my January 24th video, even though it'll be the 3rd day in a row where it's going to be uploaded the day after. But I actually had more time to get this one done. But I kept thinking about doing what I said I wanted to do, was narrate gameplay on my gaming channel, and I did that. And oh my gosh, when you suddenly have to talk for half an hour straight, and to be fair, I could doctor it up and actually, like, I didn't have the best microphone. I think the only microphone I could get to work tonight was my gaming headset, but I do have a better microphone, and I could, add it to take out all, the audio, to clean up the audio. But I I didn't, just because I wanted to just be raw to begin with. And I was happy I did it, but I was just like, I realized for as many times as I come around to either public speaking or speaking on camera, whether it's, whether I'm in front of the camera or, just the audio, just how uncertain and tentative I feel in my voice. So now, as I'm just thinking about where I want to grow and where I want to go, even though, so like when I worked at, even though I don't think I'm going to be in a position where I need to be recorded, like this is just a hobby right now, I'm thinking, so like at the radio station, beyond that, the other radio station that I actually still work at part-time, there have been a few times where we talked about either doing DJing a show, which we didn't talk as much about that, but sometimes when stuff goes wrong and the people that I am communicating with, who is like the broadcaster going over the radio and he can't get through, I had to go on the air and explain what's going on, and I did not like that. But yeah, so I think that might be one of the passive things about just continuing on doing this. Like I think, if nothing else, if I wasn't trying to get better at doing this, like, if nothing else, it's just something that I think I want to work on more so for myself. Just trying to be able to pause, kind of like that, and handle the silence rather than being so giddy, try to be like a duck on the pond, as I said in the Replacements, where it could be going a mile a minute under the surface, but being able to hold yourself with composure above the surface. Because I'm not like that. I'm not like that at all. But that's totally fine too. I realized before I felt like I was so hung up on stuff like this that I could not do whatever it is I wanted to do, because I'm like, just it sounds terrible, and I couldn't get beyond that. And yeah, I think it's something that I think the answer is yes. Like, what was my original question exactly? I think it was like, does speaking to the camera get easier with time? I think so, but I don't know. I think it helps to be sure of yourself. I don't know what the percentages of as far as like technical skills and being able to just speak and command an audience or whatever, but as much as I don't like how heavy social media is in our today's day and age, I would like to at least be able to command myself on the camera, because like, you think about, even if you can't remember specific videos right now, I just feel like anything I've seen on YouTube or before when I was on TikTok, most of the time I feel like people weren't stumbling around as much as I feel like I am. Of course, I feel like I'd be the hardest on myself, like, I think people are usually their own worst critics, but maybe it's not as bad as I think it is, but I'm drawing attention to it, so I'm sure it's kind of bad right now. But that's kind of my thought right now. Now, for this video, for this series, my only requirement was for this to be done 7 days in a row. Now, I want to continue doing this. It might not be an everyday thing. Just like now I'm talking about on my other channel, I want to upload narration on there, so that's gonna give me some first hands-on practice with that. I don't know with what regularity I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try and make myself do it regularly. If I could get to an everyday thing, then definitely, but I just this is a hobby. This isn't my job. And just like I feel like I've gotten a healthier relationship with gaming, I feel like by the grace of God, getting a healthier relationship with YouTube and even just wanting to, with technology as a whole. And yeah, so I was gonna actually end this video before 10 minutes because I think every video has been like at least 10 minutes, and I was like, well, I ain't gonna force it, but it kind of just kept going. So yeah, thank you to watching, anybody who's watching, and if you enjoy hearing me ramble on, or you just want to be here along for the ride, comment and subscribe. But if you don't want to, don't. It's we're just doing the best we can each day with what we got, and yeah, it's all good, man. See ya.